When the sun shines high, Christmas lights are unneeded. In the darkness of winter, Christmas lights and Christmas joy are bright and loud and beautiful, and needed. It has always been this way. As easy as it may be to imagine the first Christmas through a sparkly and sentimental lens, with some Unitarian ministress plinking trite melodies on the piano's most annoying keys, to imagine a beloved young bride holding a fat-cheeked son as her gentle husband gazes on in adoration, the truth is nothing like a tidy stable set in a northern European snow globe. It is nothing like any nativity scene ever sold. The truth involves more struggle, more darkness, more oppression, more grief. The truth is a scandalous young woman sweating and groaning and straining while her older, angel-scolded husband plays clumsy midwife with hard, calloused, unclean, and splintered hands. The truth is a cave stable smelling of afterbirth and blood and manure. The truth is an exhausted virgin mother surviving her ordeal only to have her crude sanctuary invaded by coarse men from the fields, come to rouse her. Strangers smelling of sheep barging into her makeshift birthing room on the invitation of angels to gape at her blood, the gore of her battle, her baby. The truth is genocide, the slaughter of innocents, Egyptian exile, wandering wizards, and somehow, against all odds, joy, the joy that would change everything. As you hang your lights in these dark days, as you decorate your tree and wrap undeserved gifts for those you love, remember that what you do is rebellion. Rebellion against the darkness, against joyless despair, against the slaughter of innocents, the oppression of tyrants, and the folly of bureaucrats. That is what Christmas is, and what it always has been. Joy shines brightest in darkness, and the darkness is shattered. Joy always wins. In these darkening times, may your joy be an eruption. May your Christmas cheer burn unquenchably bright. May you be raucous and bold and overflowing in your giving, never sour in your embrace of abstract truths. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called. Merry Christmas from New St. Andrews College. This season, erupt.
One world order, pandemics, food shortages. What does the church do in times of chaos and destruction? We build. KingdomCome.io is an invite-only collaboration network connecting skilled Christians across every industry and around the world. Join a private network of unashamedly Christian founders and engineers, investors and lawyers, artists and farmers, anyone with the skill to share and faith like a mustard seed, collaborating on side projects and new businesses that conquer the world for Christ. Apply to our waitlist today at KingdomCome.io. That's KingdomCome.io.
And you hear that?
No Gabe.
There's nobody trying to beatbox in the background.
That was towards me.
Anybody? I don't know. He's the one who does that too. You beatbox too? I don't remember that.
I don't know how to feel about that.
You know, I don't know if I have enough cups over here.
I think we tried to put more over there, but the table would have fell.
Yeah. I mean, 2 coffees, a scotch, and a water.
Gabe, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking water.
That's all you can drink.
Sicko.
Hey, welcome to Cross Politic. Chocolate Knox, Pastor Toby, and Gabe is still out with the plague, and I'm happy he's not here to spread it to the rest of us. This is how you love your neighbor. Gabe, I want to give you the Neighbor of the Year award for not being here. Thank you so much.
Keep it to yourself. Hey, it's Christmas. You really ought to join the Fight, Laugh, Feast Club.
Yes.
I mean, that's what Christmas is all about. Well, right after the birth of Jesus.
Well,
It's about joining the Fight, Laugh, Feast Club.
Yeah.
You know, the Magi brought their gifts to Jesus, and you can bring your gift to Jesus this Christmas.
Who wrote this book?
Am I doing it right?
I mean, if we're a charismatic
by
TBN
joining
show,
the Fight Laugh Feast Club, bring your gold, your frankincense, your myrrh, and during December, the first 75 people to upgrade or join our gold or platinum club membership will get our 32-ounce Kodiak Santa Claus water bottles and a free subscription. I'm sorry, St. Nicholas, for all you people that are concerned
and there's
about
joy
that.
inside that we put in.
Also, free subscription along with that upgrade to our Fight Laugh Feast magazine, automatically just thrown in there, just right on top, because it's Christmas. By joining the Fight Laugh Feast army, not only will you be aiding in our fight to take down secular and legacy media, but you also get access to content placed in our club portal, such as past shows, all our conference talks, and exclusive content for club members that you won't be able to find anywhere else. Lastly, you'll also get discounts at all our conferences. We don't have the big money of woke media, and so our club members are crucial in this fight. So join the movement, join our army, and sign up today at fightlaughfeast.com.
I just want to do something. I feel right now there's like 7 people that got $10,000. If you put your hand on the screen, you got me in the mood, Pastor. It's there.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that just because.
And then what do they do?
Gabe touched. There we go. Right now, I'm going to send you a blessing. I'm going to pray for you right now. But you got to have faith to receive it.
And you got to go to fightlaughfeast.com and click on join the club.
Cash app that real quick so I know we got it before I pray because I don't want to get this blessing before you send that money. All right. So CNN right now is understanding that it's different when the rabbit's got a gun too.
The who?
The rabbit.
The rabbit.
Got a gun too. Yeah. You've ever heard that term before?
No.
That's old cartoon stuff.
Oh, like
That's Elmer Fudd.
Thank you, Gabe.
The rabbit that you're hunting.
Yes.
I was like, what's that rabbit doing? Why does he have a gun?
Be very, very quiet.
Thank you, Gabe.
Rabbit.
That's right. And so I think it was Oliver Dorsey and some folks over at CNN are pretty upset right now.
Oh.
And they're going to have a conversation with Twitter.
Oh.
I think this raises a big question about what the free press, what the future of the free press on Twitter looks like. Are news organizations going to stand by as the reporters are just, hastily banned without explanation?
Hold on, time out.
CNN is saying
Is this the first time I think they've ever used the word free press at CNN on TV?
Right.
I think this might be the first
Suddenly,
time.
they believe in the free press.
The fourth estate is at risk.
Free
what are we
press.
going to do? All right, okay.
it's going to reevaluate its relationship with Twitter based on the response it gets. I want to read you the full statement, Allison. It says, the impulsive and unjustified suspension of a number of reporters, including CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan, is concerning but not surprising. And it goes on to say Twitter's increasing instability and volatility should be of incredible concern for everyone who uses Twitter. And then it goes on to say, we have asked Twitter for an explanation and we will reevaluate our relationship based on that response. And I think it's so important to point out that Twitter really really relies on news. I mean, that's what's the kind of the lifeblood of
and
Twitter.
Journalists.
Current events.
I mean, they're all.
They've forgotten who the most important person is. Yes, sir, Pastor.
Also, I'm reevaluating my relationship with CNN.
Oh,
Yeah,
you had a relationship with CNN?
I'm taking a moment and I'm just pulling back. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, if because they don't seem to be honoring me and our free press. I mean, they haven't been running any of our stuff.
Well.
I don't believe in one bit that they're reevaluating their relationship with Twitter.
No.
I mean, they're so dependent on Twitter. You remember CNN canceled their contracts with all the airports this last year? So CNN had a contract where they'd be in all the airports this last year. They reevaluate based off of finances and eyes on their news.
Right.
And Twitter brings them the most clicks out of anybody. They ain't reevaluate nothing. They're just virtue signal to their base.
Yeah, absolutely.
They get more views on Twitter than they do their own network.
Yeah. Are you going to explain the background of this? Because I think so. Elon Musk says on Twitter that some news reporters basically doxed him.
Right.
Like they actually gave his physical address out.
Yeah, and his information. Yeah.
And then he was actually had
following his car.
Following his car and stuff. And so he said, look, we're not doing that.
Well, and it's one thing to follow my car with me in it. It's a whole nother thing to follow my car with my kids and my family in it.
Right.
I just want you to know right now, don't play that with me.
Right.
Y'all better hope Jesus come down and restrain me because we got problems right there.
Right.
So.
But I'm just saying, so that's the background of this. And so apparently these news reporters that were were involved in that doxing,
Yeah.
he's suspended.
So I don't have a problem with that.
No, neither
What he
do
did. I think what he did was fine.
No, and just think about it. Just flip it around. If this was anyone else,
Yeah.
If this was, they were doxing, I don't know, Nancy Pelosi. They were
Yeah, I don't want that.
I mean,
well, what about
CNN would be calling for the news reporters that shared Nancy Pelosi's physical address to be suspended.
You do remember that it was CNN arguing that it was okay for people to be at Kavanaugh's and other Supreme Court justices' houses,
For real.
right? And that had been doxxed,
Yeah.
and it was okay. It was their
was
free.
okay.
It was
Yeah,
free
free
speech,
speech.
for them
Free
to be there
speech.
and to say what they
Free
were.
speech.
The other thing that I
Well,
kind of
let me add something here, Knox, real quick. Twitter just released another Twitter files today detailing or the receipts of how the relationship the FBI had with Twitter. Have you seen one big news organization cover these Twitter files? I'm talking about the FBI being involved in free speech with Twitter, and CNN doesn't care anything about that. They're
Well,
reporting on any of that.
Well, to be fair, they cover it, but it's how they cover it that's really disingenuous. So they've covered it. They've
I haven't seen them cover it.
Well, they've covered it, but it hasn't been like, okay, this is a problem when you have this type of fascism working in your nation.
It's more the angle is Elon is trying to stir up trouble.
Right, and he's playing to the right
And
to
he's
make
going,
them feel
right wing
right.
extremism.
So they're covering it, but they're having an angle on how they're covering it. I would have had a little more compassion for them had they said, "Listen, we think that the shutdowns are valid. We need to do it. We need to take care of our people, whatsoever. But we don't mind dissenting voices, and we're a little disheartened that this guy by the name of I don't know how to say his last name, but his first name is Jay. His last name is Bhattacharya. That would have been fine if they would have said something like that and said." And so it doesn't make sense that he should be discounted or be shadow banned because he has a different dissent. And so we don't think Twitter is being justified in the way that they're treating Jay Bhattacharya. But that's not how they haven't spoken up for Jay. They haven't spoken up for anybody else.
What about the freedom of the press for Jay Bhattacharya?
Right. He's actually a doctor. He works in. He's got the perfect blend of a doctor who works in economics.
It's and of course the comeback is, but lives were at stake.
Yes.
He's giving such false information that people will die, and you're like, well, so what about the people that are showing up threatening Elon Musk?
Yeah. What about choice though?
Yeah.
So why don't you let people make their own choice?
Right.
Why don't you let people weigh the information? That's what the press is supposed to do, right?
That's right.
You can choose to believe the press or not, depending on the information they put out. We don't say, hey, let's limit the press because people might die. No, they get to make the decisions of how it is that they want to be looked at throughout this. So I don't feel bad at all. And Twitter, if they leave, listen, we've been through this already. We're on social media platforms that have censored us and have cut back our viewership and have even canceled us. We're not even on YouTube right now.
We're out. No, we're not on YouTube right now. We're suspended.
And let me tell you, it is tough to grow your base when you don't have a social media platform. I don't care who you are. I heard from a major network today that has problems growing their platform. You remove YouTube from it, you remove Twitter from it, and you fall apart. You don't grow. CNN is no different than anybody else. They know they don't have any leverage in this, and them moving away from Twitter will only be the demise. And so to say all that, I said to say this. You need to buy your $8 blue check, whatever you need to do, because whatever Elon Musk has done to get Twitter to reevaluate, get CNN to reevaluate their Twitter status is a blessing to us all.
Yep.
And just one of the ways you can send Elon Musk a love offering is just to buy your blue check. So,
and join the Fight Laugh Feast Club membership.
but that's after. That's after.
FightLaughFeast.com. Right. No, Fight Laugh Feast first, then blue check.
That's what I mean.
Oh,
The
yeah.
blue
Okay,
check is-
good. All right, just make sure.
So I was on Twitter, speaking of Twitter, and
With your blue check.
I did have my blue check. Yes, thank you. And I was searching down a timeline, and I got this from Delano. And then I went to go search. After I found this clip from Delano, I found other clips in line with this. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of a trend. And it made me think about another trend that I've been seeing since before my wife and I got married. But I want to play this clip of this. These clips. There's two clips of kind of the degradation of marriage and getting married. So play the first clip. Okay, so if you're listening to this, there's a girl who is like at a bridal shop.
She's holding up the
and she's
dress.
holding up a wedding dress to herself. And as she holds up the wedding dress, she has kind of like Lord of the Rings experience where she starts seeing what happens, you know.
Don't compare this to Lord of the Rings.
She starts having these visions.
Come on.
Fair enough.
This is-
You got me. You right. I'm wrong. I can admit it. See that, Gabe? See how I did that? You need to practice it.
Come on.
She has to start seeing like, oh, if I have I have a baby all of a sudden.
She starts having a crack dream.
A crack dream?
You know.
I don't.
She's on crack.
Okay. I got you.
And she's having delusions.
And she has a broom in her hand the next
Hallucinations.
time.
Yeah.
She has to clean up the next time.
Right.
She's got to, you know. And so
Crack dream.
Crack dream. It's so weird coming from you, Pastor. And so, and then
that's what we used to call it in Alaska hood. In Alaska.
I didn't even know y'all had it.
Where the
then there's
the
a
moose hang out.
Crack dreams with moose.
What's gotten into Toby?
I don't know. You're not here, and like whatever spirit is usually on this side of the room has like creeped over the table. Might need some prayer and fasting. So there's another clip that followed this one that I saw, and I just wanted to grab these two because there's more than that. But play the next clip. Okay, so if you listen to audio, basically the same thing kind of happened, but this one was with the ring. She puts on the ring.
Yeah, has a crack dream.
She has the crack dream. She's cleaning the kitchen. She's doing laundry. She's doing the dishes on the floor. This one didn't have a baby though.
No.
And so then she takes off the ring and she's like, "No, I ain't doing that." And she throws it in the toilet.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to take a turn here. It doesn't seem like it's going to all add up, but it will. Yeah. You're going to have to go with me on here.
Okay.
Hold that. Put a pin in that.
Hold that.
Okay.
Crack dreams.
So ever since COVID happened, 2020, everybody, look, I'm a conspiracy theorist nut, okay? Not because I wanted to be, my daddy made me this, okay? So I blame my father, but I hold to it.
Just
it's a real thing. Yeah. It came in handy in 2020 because as soon as stuff started going down, like
my dad's right.
Man, I'm telling you, as soon as they said, "Oh, you can't go to work," I was like, "Who can't go to work?" Who are you to tell me I can't go to work? Right. Hey, you can't go outside. You got to put a mask on. All of a sudden, everything about my conspiracy theories were heightened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the next thing, and I remember us having this talk here at the table and on the show, the next thing they'll be doing is they'll be giving you certain type of masks and certain type of vaccines. In order for you to move about, you'll have to have approval from the government. Lo and behold, they did it.
They did it.
And I was like, okay, now look, I ain't a prophet or the son of a prophet. I know my daddy.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be this right.
Right.
Right. But I wasn't the only one. Everybody started feeling like this, and they're like, "This isn't right. Something is going on."
Right.
Well, right now, people are finding out the mRNA vaccine is not good for your health. Surprise, surprise. They're having myocarditis. There's a documentary called "Died Suddenly" that is showing what happens to people who are getting blood clots. It's on Rumble. You should go watch it. It's very informative. There's also this information coming out that your DNA is being infiltrated by the mRNA vaccine, and they're not supposed to be able to do this. So we're finding out information about this. Yeah. There's all kinds of things. There's damage that's happening because of the vaccine that they're not talking about. And so everybody has been risen to this level of, why did they do this? What's going on? We're talking about still passports to travel internationally. Yeah. And so you have to have the vaccine and this vaccine passport to be able to go to other nations. This is insane. And so everybody's like, they're a little alert.
And they got baby farms.
Ectolabs, right? Ectolabs.
I mean,
and so
it's nuts.
People are starting to find old stuff that hinted at this. And one of the things that resurfaces was an old 2016 X-Files show or season that had this whole plot in it. Check this out.
It may sound insensitive, but the suggestion is pure science fiction.
What I'm saying, Agent Einstein, is that the facts, as I understand them, cannot be discounted out of hand.
No one has the right or the ability to tamper with your DNA.
Unless we gave them that ability.
When you say they're tampering with our DNA, that they're able to shut down our immune systems by the addition of something to our DNA.
Yes, but I don't know how exactly.
Or how it's being triggered.
I don't know that either.
Or why it's happening now.
The ultimate weapon. The ability to depopulate the planet. To kill everyone but the chosen.
By tampering with their DNA.
Own government.
Your own government lies as a matter of course, as a matter of policy. The Tuskegee experiments on black men in the 30s, Henrietta Lacks.
A government hiding, hoarding technology for 70 years.
at the expense of human life and the future of the planet. Driven not only by corporate greed, but a darker objective.
The takeover of America.
And then the world itself, by any means necessary, however violent, or cruel, or efficient. By severe drought, brought on by weather wars, conducted secretly using aerial contaminants and high-altitude electromagnetic waves. In a state of perpetual war. To create problem, reaction, solution scenarios to distract, enrage, and enslave American citizens at home. With tools like the Patriot Act and the National Defense Authorization Act, which abridge the Constitution in the name of national security. The militarization of police forces in cities across the U.S., the building of prison camps by the Federal Emergency Management Agency with no stated purpose, the corporate takeover of food and agriculture, pharmaceuticals and healthcare, even the military in clandestine agendas to fatten, dull, sicken, and control a populace already consumed by consumerism.
And I encourage you all to go shopping more.
A government that taps your phone, collects your data, and monitors your whereabouts with impunity. A government preparing to use that data against you when it strikes. And the final takeover begins.
The takeover of America.
By a well-oiled and well-armed multinational group of elites that will cull, kill, and subjugate.
Happening as we sit here.
It's happening all around us.
I'm pretty sure I saw Knox's dad in there somewhere.
He probably wrote this. I just don't know about it. It's probably his writing.
Oh my goodness.
You know, when you see something like this, you start making all these connections. You start thinking about, man, you know, globalism is a big thing right now. The World Economic Forum talking about transhumanism, talking about growing jawbones, growing hearts, growing ears, you know, and being able to create these people who we can heal the world and make it a better place. And we have the ability to do that.
Baby farms.
Well, you see your tyrants, baby farms for real.
Right.
You see your tyrants pushing these vaccines even after everybody says the pandemic's over and we don't, the death rates aren't even the same anymore. You got Trudeau out there. You have this globalist tyrannical feel that's in the air, and we all know it in one sense. You know, you don't need the X-Files to tell you that, but the fact that this has been going on for a while, you're like, this is kind of like an amen to that. But I wanted to stop for a second, and I wanted to think through, this is why we celebrate Christmas. And I know it doesn't seem like these things are connected, but they are. When Christ came into the world, he came into a world that had tyrants that were looking to be taking the whole thing over. Right. Matter of fact, they were so threatened of the promise of the coming of Jesus that they killed all the infants they possibly could to try and stop the birth of Christ. Right. And so and to stop Christ. And so this is not the first time in the world that we have had to deal with globalism or tyrants trying to take over the world. And it just so happens that the birth of Christ was the perfect answer to deal with tyrants trying to take over the world, trying to take the authority that Christ was going to have. Right. And so when we see globalism, when we see tyranny at this level that's rising to this height, we already know that Christ destroyed it. Mm-hmm. So there isn't any fear in what the World Economic Forum. There isn't any fear in, oh my goodness, they're trying to get our IDs and our information. When Christ came into the world, he took all of their plans to try and destroy him and use them against them and made them traps for them to fall into to bring about the very domination of his own throne. And he did it through death and resurrection. And this is where, so I want to take, so remember I told you about the wedding stuff and the wedding stuff.
The crack dreams.
The crack dreams, the degradation of wedding and marriage is to try and stop the promotion of victory. You got to remember, it was Christ that came into this. One of the things they didn't talk about, they talked about the babies in that. They didn't talk about husbands, did they? In that whole wedding thing. Husbands weren't even in the, they weren't in the category. But what Paul does when he tells Timothy, hey, set up what I left unfinished, find men who love their families, and then teach those men to love their wives and teach the older women to teach the younger women to love their families and their husbands so that they stop the mouth of the ones who oppose them. The victory, the way that we win, the way that we topple globalism, the way that we beat tyrants is through obedience to Christ in marriage and families. Right. And because Christ has already destroyed the tyrants that are trying to take over the world. Their power has been made to look shameful by his death and resurrection. Right. So there won't be any other, look, if God is on the throne, Christ on the throne, he sits there and he's making the world, renewing the world through the gospel of Jesus Christ. No one else can sit on that throne no matter how hard they try.
Right.
So we laugh at globalism. We laugh at the World Economic Forum. We go have children.
Right.
We raise those children and out of the mouth of babes, right? And so we don't fear this stuff in the same way. We look at this and be like, ooh, that is crazy. Ooh, that kind of connects. But then we have a different posture to it. It's like, and how is God going to topple this giant?
Right.
Because he did it in so simple ways through the birth of a child and a virgin.
Right.
That's how he decided to beat him.
Right.
You know, and we need to remember that. And that's why we celebrate Christmas.
Yeah. In the beginning of Luke's gospel, I always like the part where it's introducing John. And I think it's beginning of chapter 2. And it says like, when Quirinius was governor and Pontius Pilate.
Yep.
And these guys were the chief priests, and this guy was the head honcho, and that guy was the other head honcho, and that guy was the other head honcho. The word of the Lord came to John in the wilderness. And you're like,
right.
Like, you got nothing. I don't care what your title is.
That's right.
I don't care what you think that you're the king of.
Yeah.
If the word of the Lord isn't with you, you got nothing. I mean, where's the action?
That's right.
The action's not where Quirinius and Pontius Pilate and the high priests are, and Ananias and all, the action is in the wilderness where the word of God comes. And then the same thing with what you're saying, like remember that Jesus was born like 25 years after Caesar Augustus is inaugurated. So the empire is, you have Julius Caesar as the attempt at an empire. He gets he gets killed, and then you have Caesar Augustus, the first emperor of Rome, officially. Yeah. The empire is on the rise. Caesar Augustus is acclaimed as son of the gods.
That's what is on the coin, right?
The coin's the son of God, and Caesar is Lord.
Right.
Kaiser Kurios.
Yeah.
And God
World
says,
Economic Forum.
And God says, I'm going to topple this empire, and I'm going to do it through my son being born as a baby, living a perfect life, performing miracles, teaching, correcting, rebuking, and then being flayed on a Roman cross, rising from the dead, ascending to my right hand. That's how we're going to do it.
That's right.
And that's why, if Christmas proclaims the power of God in the word of God coming to John the Baptist, the word of God in flesh.
That's right.
In Mary's womb, and then in a food trough in a stable, and then flayed on a cross. Then obedience to God is absolutely where it's at.
The seat of empire has already been filled.
Yeah, no, it is. And frankly, I think because of the death, burial, resurrection of Jesus, even the nature of the empires that rise against God are not even what they used to be.
Not even close. They can't.
I don't think we understand that there were actually demonic powers behind Rome and Greece and Persia and Babylon, and the statue that Daniel saw has been toppled. Like, that was the great powers of the ancient world. They're toppled. The rock that was cut out without hands smashed into the statue, and it's growing into a mountain. And these bubbles, ripples of arrogant, empire building, globalism, and all the rest of it. All you have are arrogant, foolish men. You've got Bill Gateses,
right,
full of just babbling idiocy, and they can make a pretty big show.
Yeah,
but Christ is on the throne.
I don't think we should forget that they did exactly what God wanted them to do.
Right. Yes.
Right. Do you understand that?
When Caesar Augustus issued a decree, he did it so that the Son of God could be born in Bethlehem according to prophecies centuries before.
When they put him on the cross, that was the victory. They think they won.
If they had known what God had planned,
they would have
through their actions, they would have never crucified the Lord of glory, but they were doing exactly what he had planned for them to do. And the same thing is true today.
And if you're not looking at Advent, if you don't celebrate Christmas, those things don't come to your mind nearly as much, because you got to remember, Christ came into a world that was worse than this one.
Right. That's the thing.
With Tyrus, he came and he's made it better he's continuing to make it better.
That's right.
And so we rejoice in it. And the way that he's restored it follows the original order. Get married, have some children, enjoy Christ, teach your children about Christ. And that's why they want to destroy marriage, because that's where the victory is.
And don't let them lie to you, women in particular. I mean, the seed of the woman has crushed the seed of the serpent. But even you embracing the calling of motherhood and wife,
that's right,
is not like this is not drudgery. This is not slavery. This is how you fight the forces of darkness. This is how you fight against globalism. This is how you fight. You raise up little children, arrows.
And don't forget, man, I just got to say this. They are acting like in the video with the women, like you're not going to have to clean your house.
Right.
I don't care if you're married now, you're still going to clean your house.
Yeah, right. There's still dishes.
You're still going to eat in your kitchen. You're still going to have to clean your toilet.
Right.
You're still going to have to, what are you talking about?
But, Knox, you can be all alone and lonely while you do it.
That's what they're offering. Fruitlessness, right?
So, who invented the hospital? Who invented the printing press? Who invented Harvard, Yale, and Princeton? Christians did.
Come on now.
Not conservatives, not Republicans, but blood, bought, spirit-enabled, faith-filled Christians with skill and spine. So why is the church today so beholden to the pagans of big tech, big corporate, and Wall Street? KingdomCome.io is the leading invite-only professional social network for skilled Christians on mission. So think LinkedIn, but unashamedly built for the body of Christ to reclaim the kingdom of God across every industry, everywhere. Are you a professional in tech, business, and creative? Join KingdomCome.io. That's KingdomCome.io. Apply to become a founding member today. Connect with like-minded Christian professionals, and let's get to work. That's KingdomCome.io.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a perfect ad, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Perfect timing.
Work right in there. Like, yeah, what are you doing? I'm building a kingdom. All right, time for the wrap-up, the Friday wrap-up. On Monday, we talked about the ongoing Twitter files and horror movies coming to life with one company advertising their plans to create an ecto-factory baby farm. We also interviewed Jennifer Say, the former CMO. What's a CMO? I don't remember. A creative something.
Chief Marketing Officer.
There you go. Of Levi's Jeans. She is the former CMO and not the current CEO, which she was in line to become because she declined to go along with them woke jeans and had the audacity to say out loud that she thought California public schools ought to be open after COVID. On Tuesday, we interviewed Matt Strickland, small business owner in Northern Virginia, who also happens to be running for Virginia Senate. We watched a video of Chinese communists dressed up like American police officers raiding his restaurant and taking all his beer back to their stations where they got plastered by order of the health department. Because Matt has been refusing to obey the communists in Virginia throughout the COVID tyranny. But we did get word on Wednesday that his appeal has been granted and his beer license was restored.
Praise God.
Although I haven't heard if he got all his beer back yet or not.
It's coming.
On Wednesday, we watched Joe Biden ranting and raving about how ridiculous it is to be debating gay marriage, since marriage is between one man and one woman, period, full stop. That's what the law says, end of story. Defense of Marriage Act, period, end of story, period.
Then he got vaccinated.
And then we watched him, same Joe, tell himself that anyone who does not support gay marriage is a homophobe and racist and hater. Then he tried to shake his own hand. And even he wouldn't shake his own hand. And it went downhill after that.
Yeah.
The psalm of the day was Psalm 23, which is a good psalm all the time.
Yeah.
But it seems particularly fitting for Christmas and these days. The Lord is our good shepherd king who lays his life down for the sheep, and he was laid in a manger because he came to lay his life down that we might have life through him. Yesterday, Gabe phoned it in. No, literally. He called in on his screen. He's doing it again today.
Yeah.
We watched Trump give 6 or 7 or 18 major announcements all day long. Seems like it was every 15 minutes. He was like, wait, watch this. And he was making noise with his hand cupped under his armpit and standing on one foot and juggling and something about trading cards and making social media companies be good.
Oh boy.
We also watched Bill Gates explain how the only way to have squares is to make everything round. And that since purple is jump, foxes shingle bloop.
Biden can translate.
It was kind of like Babel and the end of that hideous strength, right?
Uh-huh.
And the good news is that insanity never works. We also watched A Day in the Life of an Abortion Escort, and Knox reminded us that the gospel is for arrogant rebels like that. In fact, Christ only saves arrogant rebels. He only saves his enemies. As this is our final regular show of 2022.
One more.
Is that correct?
One more.
Regular show.
Yeah, regular
We're not
show.
doing any more regular shows.
This is the regular.
This is
you're
it.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do a live show.
That's, Tuesday.
So that's coming. So you don't worry. Don't worry. All you diehards, all your old favorites, all you the live show is coming. But this is the last regular show of 2022. I just want to close out with deep gratitude to all of you who listen and watch and share these shows so regularly. Back in June, we went to the Daily Show because we believed and still believe that this is the only way to continue to grow Cross Politic. We're very thankful for all of you who have come out to our conferences and our other live events this last year, and especially all our club members. We know we don't have all the glitz and all the glamour of Fox and Daily Wire and Blaze, whatever. We're just three guys in Idaho trying to make a difference with a bunch of duct tape.
And it works. So.
But every club member counts. Every subscription adds up, and it helps feed very cute black babies in Idaho.
That's true.
If
I know 7 of them.
I've seen them. They're really, really cute. Anyways, if you haven't joined yet, that's honestly all we'd really like for Christmas. We have big plans for the new year, including the 2023 Fight, Laugh, Feast conference at the Ark Encounter, the Politics of Six-Day Creation, which is when, Gabe? September something? 13th, 18th, 17th? Come on. Yeah.
Wait, what was the question? I was looking at an email.
Yeah, just like Gabe. The Fight, Laugh, Feast conference at the Ark Encounter is September
12th through the 3rd. October 12th through the 14th.
Oh, October 12th through the 14th. All right, there we go.
So
October.
he feel good enough to look through an email while we doing the show, but he can't.
He's doing it, but he can't come in here and hang
Well,
out
it was
with
actually
us.
from the conference center.
Sure.
Oh,
sure.
yeah, sure. Okay, anyways, you don't want to miss that. Make plans, put it on your calendar now already, and keep praying for us. So from all of us at Cross Politic, even Gabe, sick at home, thank you. And God bless you, and Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.
So if you're single, get married. And if you're married, have you some kids. And if you have kids, go baptize them. Until Tuesday, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feast. This is Cross Politic. Merry Christmas.
Even Merry Christmas from Tony. Tony says Merry Christmas.
It is the duty of the free man to resist tyranny at every turn. Every man will either watch his freedom stripped away or take action to protect what he loves. Introducing the A3, the newest revolutionary body armor from Armored Republic. The A3 is the new standard for lightweight multi-hit body armor. A3 plates are incredibly light at 4.6 pounds. The patented design captures fragmentation while remaining multi-hit capable. The A3 will stop up to M80 ball, yet comes in at only 0.7 inches thick. The A3 is the thinnest NIJ .06 compliant or certified composite standalone plate that includes the drop test. The A3 is the first of its kind, patent pending, that combines an alloy strike face with polyethylene backing, revolutionizing body armor technology by providing strength and durability while remaining sleek and maneuverable. The A3 is the new standard in lightweight body armor. The fight against tyranny just got stronger.
Putting off writing that proposal again? Yeah, we've been there. Proposal writing can be tough. It takes work, and if you're not careful, you can set up your company for failure. Well, that's where we come in. Smart Pricing Table is an innovative application that focuses on, well, the pricing table. Instead of a static document and constant back and forth, our platform creates interactive proposals that empower your prospects. Not sure if something is needed? Make it optional. Have complicated services that vary? Let your customer do the work with line item upsells. Have reoccurring services? Easy peasy. With Smart Pricing Table, you can create attractive proposals quickly. And our system is built for reuse, so you can get out of that hamster wheel. Give your customers choice and close deals quickly with Smart Pricing Table.